Hi, this is Jo Wallace. I own JW Pet Services and I'm at my salon today, Tales of Long Sutton. We're going to be doing a grooming seminar for cats, predominantly lion trims, but just some general information about cat grooming as well. So I thought I'd start off by showing you some tools that you might need to get prepared before you start working on your cat. It's really important to get everything around you because once your cat's out on the table, you're not going to be able to move around much without carrying the cat with you, which is a little bit unsafe. So make sure you've got everything you need to hand. You may need a towel to put on your table. Sometimes cats don't like the normal slippery surfaces of the dog grooming tables, and a towel to wrap your cat in if you need to do any handling for aggressive cats. So have everything around you that you might need. Also an Elizabethan collar. So we've got a popping one here that could be really useful, just to ensure that the cat doesn't bite you or they're anywhere near biting you. And also I really like this e-collar that I got from Coventry Cat Grooming Supplies. It's really good. The cats can't get it off. The popper one they can, and you can tighten it around the cat's neck. And I do think a collar tends to settle them down, put them at ease, and it also just protects you from getting bitten. They don't hurt the cats. There's nothing sinister about them. It is literally just protection and used as a calming tool for the cat. You might need a happy hoodie. We use these to go over the cat's head if they're being bathed or dried, or any sort of noise really that the cat may not want to be in an environment where it's noisy. It just helps to calm them again, so you could have one of those nearby. I'd recommend that you get some arm protectors. These were just from Amazon. Whilst the cat can probably still bite and scratch through them, they are just that little bit of protection to prevent from getting sort of quite severely punctured or scratched or bitten in any way. So just give yourself that extra bit of protection, especially if you're still learning. That will just be really helpful. You may need some form of bribery. So the Licky Licks are really good, Dreamies, catnip, but just make sure that you've asked the owner first, and they're happy for you to lose these products. Sorry, someone's trying to get in. Brushes, so you will need a comb. So if you look on Amazon, you'll be able to find a cat grooming comb that looks similar to this. This will help to remove dead coat. You may need a rake. So some people don't like using these. I do. They think they look quite sinister, but really you are brushing the cat's hair and not the skin. So you're not going to hurt the skin with this type of brush. You are just pulling the dead coat through the hair, which is already released. It's just sitting in the coat. So one of these tools is really good for cat grooming. I advise my customers to buy one of these as well. If you want something slightly more expensive and posher, I do love this little Christian comb that I got from Christie's. It's about £50, but well worth it. It's got a much tighter comb tooth, which pulls all the dead coat out and just gives it that smoother finish. Still perfectly fine to use one of these, about £6, but this is much better. Also, you may want to get some cat grooming shampoos. So this one is poo free. It's a calming shampoo, all natural. I really prefer to use natural grooming products on cats because they lick themselves. So we've just got to be a bit careful with what they're ingesting. This is for cats purposely. It's got the right pH balance in it. So I'll also put all of this on a slide for you so you've got all the information. Sometimes cats are greasy, so we've got groomer's glue to use as well, also from Coventry Cat Groomers. So you've got a range of tools there that you're ready to go with. We'll talk through trimmers and clippers in a little while, along with scissoring. See you in a bit. Okay, so we're going to make a start on Lily. Lily is a Persian pussycat. She is very woolly today, very fluffy, so we're going to start by doing a reverse on a wool acro, and I'm going to use a 1.9mm. I'm going to see how that goes with her skin colouring and the thickness of the coat. You could use a variety of tools here. You could do a 10 reverse if you want a very close shave on a line trim. You could use the 0.7 or the 1.3 on a normal shaving direction, so with the coat grain, but I'm going to do a reverse for a smoother finish today. So I'm going to make a start by taking some of the hair off. Just checking the skin and seeing how close that's going to take it, which is pretty close. We'll carry on. So we're working our way around Lily. She's a very good girl. She's just sitting there for me. We will talk about handling techniques, but while she's happy, I'm happy. So we're just working our way around, working backwards. And we're starting to see that nice, smooth finish. I am going to bath Lily today as well, but I'm going to get all her coat off first, just because we don't want to bath and dry all this woolly hair, put the cat through that process first. If she was reasonably short, I probably would bath first, but I want to get that skin nice and clean as well, so I shall bath after I've trimmed her. I will do a slide with the different types of line cut lengths that you can get and add that in. As you can see, I can get pretty much most of it off while she's just sitting there. It's really important to stretch the skin out, so I'm just going with the coat growth just to get some of this hair out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. But if you stretch the skin, not only will you get a closer shave, but you can also make sure that you're not nicking the skin. You've got a better control on the cat. And we're just going to switch to do a little bit of a close-up on that for you as well. So pulling the skin around, I'm just going to take off some of the length first, just so I can see what I've got underneath, where all of her limbs are. Just moving the tail out the way. Oh, that's very convenient, thank you. So as you can see, I've got my arm on the back of her, which is just going to stabilise her a little bit while I'm taking off some of the area she probably isn't really that keen on around her belly. I'm literally just taking off the length at the minute. And then I'm going to start from the back leg again with the reverse. Persians have very thin skin. She is quite tubby for a Persian. Normally they're very skinny, very thin skin. You can see we're coming around now with the reverse. I'm just leaning on her slightly just for a bit of support, and I'm also pulling up the skin. You do need about 10 hands for cat grooming because you can't restrain the cat other than use your body. You might see videos with loops in or restraints. Advise you don't do that. Cats can panic, they can get caught up in things, so I really wouldn't aim to do that. So we're getting there now with our line trim. We've still got a lot of hair around here. You can set in your line trim in different areas. So this would be no mane if she had the head. You can have a small mane or a full mane, or you can have a bolero jacket which comes down to about here. Again, I'll show you an example of that on a diagram. But we're going to take a bit more off her because she's a Persian. She's got a little round head, so it makes sense to have a bit more off. She's got very long hair today, so I don't want to cut too much in because I want to set in my shape. Still having a look. We're going to do the legs separately. Still having a look to see where I need to add my shape into. So now we've got Lily on her side, so you just want to give her a little bit of support there, put some light pressure on, come down the belly. I'm just going to clear all my area. The things you need to look out here for are nipples, little mats underneath, anything that can catch on your clipper. So you just want to be really careful to start with. I just like to remove all the hair so I can see what I've got. Good girl, Lily. Where I am coming down the side, I'm clipping and then I'm clipping the hair away. So I'm coming down and away to move away from this belly area. If I follow it all the way round, then there could be flappy skin on the other side. So I've just got to be really careful around this sensitive area here. Lily's doing a grand job for me today. I'm going to start coming down a bit on the back leg. Looking very lively already. There we go, good girl, good girl, sit. There we go, so just settling her down at the top, coming down the back leg. You want to come down to the hop area. Down to this part of the leg here. And again, just making sure that you've stretched that area out. You've got to be really careful around this tuck up area. There's a big flap of skin there. Just going to take a little bit, you're just going to go the other way. Let's do this side. Just going to take a little bit off this shoulder area. Just got to be really careful with these bones in the shoulder. If you're bashing against them, you could catch them. So until you've worked out where everything is, just come lightly around the cat. Right. So, go. Okay, so just coming around that back leg, there's quite a lot of hair here. Just going to skim it over my finger at the moment. Oh, thank you, Lily. Licky licky. Just stretching her leg out for me. I'm going to shape that later, but at the moment I'm just going to get some more of the overall hair off. When you're using your blade, try and have it flat to the skin rather than in. If you come in, you're more likely to catch the cat. Keep pulling the skin around. We're going to take a little bit more off this shoulder in the right direction, just to get the bulk of the hair off. And you can do a line clip in the right direction, and you can do one slightly longer. You can do a teddy bear trim on a comb attachment, which is again slightly longer. The reverse just gives it that smoother look. So I'm just coming down the hair, not into the cat, but down onto the table, just to clear some of the hair away. Also pulling the skin around. I know exactly where my bony elbow is there. If you don't know where things are in the short term, just pop your finger on it, and then you can guide by your finger. Right, so I'd probably say we're just going to have a little look underneath. Again, just using my arm to stable and using my other hand to pull Lily's leg aside. Just going to come into this back leg area. I'm going to do that slightly shorter on a 1.3, just to clear that hygiene area. You see, I'm stretching the skin with my thumb whilst holding the leg up. I'm not going too close to skin at the moment, I'm just coming over the top of the hair. Good girl. You can also use your other hand to pull that tail right the way around. Good girl. I'll get a cleaner shave at the end. I'm also going to clip off part of the tail, but not all of it. Just the very top line. If you were doing a full lion tail, full shave off, you would carry on shaving the tail, find where the bone is, and leave a pom on the end. You can trim around that pom with scissors, which I'll show you later on, but you want to come up to about there on the cat and leave your end of your tail. We're not going to do that today. I'm just going to come and leave some of the tail on. Again, I'm using the 1.3 blade for that. If you were on a 10 blade and you were doing a 10 reverse, you could do it with a 10 blade. So we'll just have a little look at her chest. Again, using my arm just to restrain her, changing my blade again. I'll just go. she's got a little nipple there, so we just want to be really careful. Possibly have a little mat in there as well. I think she has. Coming into the armpit area. So you can groom on your lap, you can groom on a table, you can groom on the floor, wherever you and the cat feel comfortable. But I am technically a dog groomer, so grooming on the table for me minimises risk. And I feel I have more stability. Let's have a look under this chin. Have you got some mats under there? Just going to a slightly shorter blade. If you've got mats, just go down slightly shorter. If it was a heavily matted cat, you would need to do it on a very short blade. Otherwise you're at risk of cutting the cat. I think that's probably it before the bath. We're going to give her a nice bath and come back to you and finish off the groom. Yep, so I've got a towel in the bath. This is quite a big bath. I have got a smaller one for cats that I use. It's good to have some sort of matting in there so that they in the bottom as well, so they can't hear the sort of tinkling sound of the shower. That tends to be what they don't like. If the cat doesn't like the shower, you can use a jug and a mug. Tends to work quite well. This bath's quite big, so she can sort of get away a little bit, which isn't ideal. And then I'm using the Ordinary shampoo for cats and small animals. Again, it's natural, it's got the right pH balance. Just giving her a good scrub all over and then a rinse. That's it. Go. No. Gonna feel a lot better, especially in that little face. For cats, this is a medium, I think, whereas the small or the extra small I've got at home, they're much better. They'll be coming to the salon. So what I'm doing here is I'm brushing through Lily's tail, putting some light pressure on her body so I've got some control. I've just sprayed with some conditioning spray just to get through a few little knots she had in her tail. When I'm brushing the tail, very careful not to brush the bone, so pulling the hair over the bone and onto my fingers so I can feel where I'm brushing, and always making sure I've got the bone in my hand so I'm away from it. It's a very sensitive area, so we'll just carry on. With the back leg, I'm just holding the back leg from underneath in my hand. I'm not pulling it forward or out, it's just resting in my hand. So when I'm brushing through, I'm lifting all the hair up, brushing it in different ways just to get the dead coat out, being very, very careful not to touch this skin, but brushing all over just to get the air into the coat. The more you move the hair around, the more you'll get the air in there to dry the coat. She's got a few little knots, but we'll probably end up clipping those out. So it's much kinder. Right, we're just going to go over the mane. I've decided to take this area off because we had some matting underneath. So I'm just going to go the right way first, just so I can see what I'm doing. Just gently take all of that off, and then I'm going to cut in my shape. So we're going with the round ball head. Just turn around a little bit. She's done so well. I'm going back to my reverse, but underneath the top line, so I can even it out. So I'm going to the back of the neck in a reverse. Just neaten up this area, stretching the skin all the time. It's really important because the blade can bump over the skin, and that's when you get little nicks. Stretching out this leg. So when you're shaving the legs, you want to come down to where the armpit is underneath. Again, I'll show you a model of this. So you've got a nice clean line. We'll probably just go a little bit further, but that will be enough for a minute while we're shaping the head. A little knot in there. So rather than cut a big chunk out, find the knot and just snip it out over your finger away from the skin. That's better. You couldn't just pass me my fluffers and my little scissors, could you? The scissors will be in the case, yeah, and the little ones will... Come on. Yeah, and the little ones will be about somewhere. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we've got this big old head going on here. We've sort of cut in a shape, but we just want to make sure we're getting that kind of nice round looking shape. So I'm combing it all the way out. I'm going to use my scissors to shape. I get my scissors from Scissor Boutique, Mandy's Scissor Boutique, or you can get them from AbFab. I quite like their scissors. And I'm going to do my round cat face. You just got to be very, very careful with scissors on cats. Make sure you know where the ears are. I just want to make sure that I'm just taking the very ends off and I'm not going too close to the skin. So if you want to move the ear out of the way, put your finger on it. Because I'm a dog groomer also, I am very used to working with scissors, so it doesn't worry me about using them on cats because I'm cutting the hair and not the skin or anywhere near the skin. But if you haven't groomed dogs before and you're using scissors on a cat, get some training because they're very sharp and accidents happen. My advice would be never to use scissors on a cat to remove any mats. Just use them for shaping and thinning. Just a little bit under your chin. He was going to have a nice mane, but I've gone to plan B. Just make sure you don't get the whiskers in. You've been so good, Lily, haven't you? You don't want to cut their whiskers because that's how they find their way around. Just give you a little go now. We're going to give Lily's ears a little wipe as well because they are a little bit greasy. And as you can see, she gets runny eyes and everything from sort of a breed trait. So we're just going to give her a little clean as well. Do you mind getting me a wipe, please? Mind getting me a cat wipe, please? Cat wipe? Yeah.
Oh, those earth bath ones.
In the yellow packet. Tar. You can get a variety of ear cleaning products. These are cat wipes, hyperallergenic ones. Just a little bit of grease around her ear. Just don't use the same bit twice, or if you're using a makeup pad, use different makeup pads, just in case if there's something going on in one ear, you don't want it in both ears. So there's a little bit of grime on there. That's all good. And then with a separate wipe, I'm just going to give her little face a wipe. Where her eyes and her nose dribbles, she can get eye gunk and stuff around her face. So a nice little wipe to freshen her up, be good. Right, so we've kind of cut in our shape. I'm just going to give that a little comb through, but as you can see, we're looking a bit rough around the back of the head. So we want to make sure, see that okay? Yeah. Okay, we want to make sure that this area is all a neat and tidy head. Now you won't always be able to do this on cats, just because they've had enough, they've been matted, they're wriggly. You haven't really got the time to make sure that everything's perfect, and a lot of cat owners will be really understanding about that. They'll know that their cat only has a certain tolerance level. Lily's very patient, but they will know that after an hour, 45 minutes, the cat has lost patience and doesn't want to be mucked about with anymore. Good girl. But Lily's been very, very good. So I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit just to show you. Again, my scissors are not anywhere near. I'm kind of lifting the hair up and coming under the hair rather than to the skin. And it's literally just tidying the edges up. She's got a very small bit of hair coming out of her ears, so I'm going to just tidy that up. So I'll just check under her chin in a minute, but we're going to have a look at shaping some of the legs. So we're just going to tidy up these front legs now. She's pretty much finished. So you just want to make sure that you've cut your line into, oh, thank you for my lickies. you've cut your line into your leg so it looks nice and neat. So I'm going to do this with a 0.7 and just gently go all the way around. This is just over that little flap of skin at the front, so it's very, very delicate. Down the back of the leg and underneath. So I've cut in my line, but we've got this very bushy leg, and in places she's got little mats, so we're just going to trim around that with some scissors. Again, I'm nowhere near the skin. You could do this with a clipper over your fingers if you don't feel confident with scissors. You wouldn't normally cut the legs because they have whiskers on their legs, which is why when you do a line trim, you come to a certain point. She's getting a little bit fed up now, so we're just going to whiz round these legs. However, because she's got some mats in there, I have been around them, just give them a little trim. I've also trimmed just a small bit off the bottom of her pad, just because she's an indoor cat. It was very hairy and she's got slippery floors at home, so she has a tiny bit off the bottom of her pad, but not clipped right into the pad, just enough to, just a few more little knots under there, so just enough to sort of tidy it and make it look neat. Oh no, baby, I'm so nearly there. So again, pulling the hair out. I've got her leg in my arm, so I know exactly where the skin is. These are the little knots in here, you can see. Just going to nip them out. Take a very small bit off the bottom of the pad. She's still got loads of hair on there to protect her. A little bit over the top. Okay, we're going to do the same with the back leg. Setting the line in again with the 0.7. Trimming over the bottom of the paw pad. Again, I've removed a few little mats in the back leg already. Just tidying them up now. Turn that away. See a few things in there. There's so much hair on that leg. I'm not anywhere near the skin when I'm brushing. Lily, we're nearly done. You have been a good girl. Just taking a little bit off the top of that leg. Right, so at the end of your grooms, always make sure you've got time to finish, which is basically the time that it takes you to check all over the cat and make sure you've done everything you need to do. So from head to toe, I'm just going to give her a little brush. Oh, good girl. Just checking over, making sure everything's done. Just going to tidy that face just a tiny bit more, literally just the very edges. Anything that I can see that's sticking out. Good girl, you look pretty. Tiny bit over the ear, under the ear. hair away from the ear just to promote air going into the ear, keeping them dry and clean. A bit more hair on the front there. Same here. Just softening around that back line. Okay, brushing through the leg. Are there any more little mats we've missed underneath? That's fine. Same with the back leg. The tail. Hair from the table sticks into the tail, so you just want to make sure you've brushed it through before they go home. And also I'm just going to cut that line in again around with my 0.7 around the tail, just to make it really clean. There's just a small bit on the bottom of her tail that I've missed, so this is why we check over. With my 1.9 again on a reverse, I can just see a little bit on the leg there. So this is why we check over at the end, just to make sure we've got all that finer detail done. Like I say, not all cats will tolerate it. The fiddling, which is what we would do with dogs. But Lily will, she's quite happy, she's having a wash, she's not stressed. So I'm happy to just make sure she's looking lovely for mum. Turning her around and doing the same check on the other side. Combing through the leg. Oh, got a little mat there, let's get that out. Okay, looking pretty good on this side. See a little bit under the chin there. Good, and then the back leg, just again checking through any little knots. I think we're all right. I'm just going to take a tiny bit more of that bottom toe. Yeah, I thought she had a little something in there. And again with my 1.9 I've just got a small bit around the bum area just to tidy it. Pulling that skin right the way around. Just going to check on her underneath. Last bit, baby. Last bit. Good girl. Last little bit. Good girl. That's it. Good girl. Not perfect underneath, but she is starting to wriggle a little bit now. So I think we'll call it a day. I shall just take some photos and put them up at the end.